everyone, Kimberly Treacy here with Big Red SEO. We wanted to take just a few minutes to kind of explain to you a conversation that we had with a client that hired us for some consulting hours. We do this audit called the competitors analysis, and basically in a nutshell what this is we actually look at the industry, find their local national competitors, determine what they're doing really great at, what they might be missing the mark at, what they're doing horribly bad at, and then we bring this data, it's like a 30,000 foot view, bring it down to a strategy and kind of like a one-page document for our clientele to kind of look and figure out what is it that they need to do from an SEO perspective? How can they grow their online presence? What are some consistent actions that they need to take in order to just do SEO the right way, right? There's a lot of noise and chaos and just a lot of stuff out there right now that's just not best practices, if that makes sense. So this competitor analysis is like us looking behind the wizard curtain to figure out what are people doing marketing-wise and not. What I wanted to share with you specifically today was this clientele knows enough to be dangerous in their own marketing, right? They do a lot of stuff internal. They'll hire us a lot for some consulting hours, teaching, training, coaching. And recently they actually hired us for some SEO services to work on their website and build their online presence because they noticed their competition was kind of outranking them, not just a little bit, but a lot. And they knew that their actions were not consistent, but they didn't know necessarily where they fell off. They kind of had a general idea of what they used to do and what they no longer do, but they just noticed that no matter what they were trying to do that was matched of the old way that they did things, they could never actually meet the competition where they were at. So we did this analysis and there was a couple aha moments that this particular client came back and said, oh gosh, I didn't even pay attention to this. So without getting too technical, the first one is the loading speed of a website. If you have gone on our blog and looked at multiple different blog posts, if you've watched our YouTube videos that has Connor, you will hear us say time and time again that the speed of a website is critical and essential and it's so important. As Google has updates, which believe it or not, we actually enjoy Google having updates. The main reason is their job is to get rid of spam and to help people be able to find information they need. But the loading speeds, as you guys know, mobile is becoming more and more popular, but also people's patience and tolerance of anything loading up is getting shorter and shorter. So load times are critically important, and for this specific client, they already had a website that was loading pretty slow. It was actually the slowest out of all their competition. However, there was something that was built into their website that if they actually just removed or tweaked that one area, they could excel their load speed where it was quicker and faster than all their competition, right? So it's another like little nugget aha moment that they found of, hey, like, is this thing that's built into our website worth our website loading? And I'm talking like 13 to 15 second load time, right? Like traditionally, if it's more than 2 seconds, people are going to bounce out or pogo stick, or they're just going to go to your competition, right? But the reason why this was an aha moment specifically for this client was they had these things that they built into the website that they thought were really cool and edgy, and they personally liked it themselves. They just never took time to realize that maybe the end users would experience something on the opposite side. And believe it or not, it's not a deal breaker for them to clean that stuff up. And they would actually rather have their website load fast. They just didn't know. So again, a lot of times what happens is we educate our clientele of, hey, here's A, B, and C, this is the situation that's happening and so forth. So that was one of the biggest aha moments. And the reason why is this is stuff that they could do internally to fix the problem. They don't necessarily need us. We're happy to get hired from them, but they can actually fix it on their own. And then so they actually are taking their online presence and kind of what's happening inside their website as well as offline. They're taking control of that and they're fixing it. The other part that we noticed within the competitor analysis that we ran was this particular industry. I'm not going to say exactly who it is, but there's a lot of big box companies, right? And a lot of businesses feel, or they express to us that they feel like they can't, they don't have the ability to be competitive with the big box companies because they have millions and millions of dollars that they spend in advertising. And here's the deal, and here's what we got from this specific audit was, while there was big companies and there was a lot of money being spent, they were missing the mark substantially. And what I mean by that was They're not marketing correct. The content that they're producing doesn't make any sense. They're not instilling trust or authority into the search engines. They're not making their end users happy because they're actually not staying on the content and reading it and learning and engaging and sharing. There's multiple different things that these companies actually are losing out on, mainly because they either got in bed with somebody that said, hey, just go produce content to produce content because it's content and content's king. Well, yeah, content is king, but you still have to have an intention and you have to have an objective. If you don't actually have that, you actually can do more damage for your online presence in general, but also you can do damage to your company and your reputation, because guess what? If you put shit out, people are going to know, and they're going to know that you're just producing crap to produce crap, and that's never a good feeling, especially if you're trying to sell services. The last thing on here was, you need to make sure that you don't confuse yourself, don't confuse your brand as well as end users when you're either producing content or whatever the flow is of your website. We always, when we do strategies, try to figure out what is the goal of the website. Are you looking to educate? Are you looking to convert leads? Maybe you're doing all the above. Maybe you just want to be an industry authority figure. Some people just use their website for brand reputation. That's good as well. But the whole point and intention in the aha moment for this client was they're really, really good at what they do. However, if you looked at their website, you would never guess that. You would never guess that they're one of the top da-da-da-da-das in the industry, right? You would never guess that they have 28 years of knowledge in their head based on if you came to their blog. They don't share a lot of content. They don't share a lot of data. They don't share a lot of teaching. They believe they do, but there's just so much that they could actually pivot and shift and create that would make the search engines happy as well as the end users happy and so forth. And believe it or not, their competition's not doing it. So if they took like a little bit of time, created a solid strategy, which we're going to help them with, produce some great quality content that has intentions and it's meeting objectives and goals, and primarily educating and giving the love and the knowledge to their end users, they can actually increase their online presence pretty quickly and pretty fast. They've already done it before. The only difference is a lot's changed within the search engine. So the stuff and the practices that they had before are no longer working. Why? Because the search engines are actually increasing their standards as well. So I wanted to bring this short video to you that actually wound up being a long video because I like to talk and engage and give different tidbits. But these are some aha moments that the client experienced whenever we actually did the analysis for them. So again, just to recap, load times, make sure your website loads quickly and fast. Make sure you're producing content that's relevant, value added, education, or trustworthy, right? Make sure that your message is clear and consistent, and don't, for whatever reason, confuse your end users. Try to keep things simple, but also remember you are trying to appease the search engines and the end users, and there's a blend with that. A lot of times people will try to create designs that are like simple and not a lot of information, or maybe no content on their homepage. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't feed the search engines. So you got to have a blend of both. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We could be located at 402-522-6468, or you're welcome to go to our website. It's www.bigredseo.com. Again, Kimberly Treacy with Big Red SEO. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.